Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Drew Wimmershoff with Remax Heritage Properties in Chester. And today I am here with Alice Fuscaldo of Long Valley as well. Alice is an educational consultant and has a great background in helping students of all ages. So thank you very much for joining me today, Alice. And we'll just kind of jump right in. Tell me how you got started in educational consulting.
Well, thanks for having me, Drew. I began my career as a teacher, as a matter of fact, so I have a lot of experience working with kids. And then I moved over to the corporate training environment, and I worked in uh, coaching. I have a certification in management coaching, and I worked with people through their entire careers, from the interns right through to, the upper level managers, and, helping them making career decisions and that kind of stuff. But as I was doing that, I realized that I really missed working with kids, and discovered that the skills and the experience that I'd built up over the years in my couple different professions really fit this educational consulting role really well. So I ended up earning a certificate in educational consulting, and I've been in the field for about 7 years now, and I really love it, and I love getting to know the teenagers really well.
So is it
I'll
just
say that.
yeah, right. Is it what are the ages of the of your clients, I guess you'd call them?
Generally, I start working with students maybe late sophomore year in high school, and most of the time early junior year. Sometimes parents will come to me with kids as early as 8th grade, which is really young to start thinking about college. But we'll have a conversation then, and then they'll come back, and we'll check in again the next year, and then we can start really talking about it. I don't want to overload the kids when they're that young, so I like to start with them late sophomore, beginning of junior year.
Right. Tell me a little bit about the benefits of working with an educational consultant these days for students.
Well, the college process has changed a lot since we did it just a few years ago.
Yeah,
And
right.
it can it continues to change. It changes every single year, as a matter of fact, especially in the last year and a half or two. So one of the main benefits of working with a consultant like myself is that that's my job, is to stay on top of the changes in college admissions, and share that information with my families. I spend a lot of time researching schools, visiting when I can, doing online research, etc. We do workshops, conferences. I have meetings with admissions people all the time to learn about their colleges and the programs that they're offering for students, which again changes all the time. I come across a new major I never heard of every single year, which I like because it keeps it fresh and it keeps it interesting. So
Right.
again, I pass that on to my families. I'm an associate member of a professional organization called the Independent Educational Consultants Association, also known as IECA, as well as the New Jersey Association for College Admissions Counseling, NJACAC, that's called. And what's really nice about those memberships is that if I, since I belong to them, I have the wisdom of the crowd. So if I don't know an answer, I have a whole bunch of people I can reach out to ask about schools and lots of other things all over the country, which is great because I tend to know a lot more about the East Coast since that's where we are.
Sure. Hmm.
Kids that are interested in, really spreading their wings and getting out to the Seattle area or Colorado and places like that. So if I'm not sure about a school, I have lots of people that I can ask. And again, share that with the kids and their parents. The other really big benefit that I think parents get out of working with me is that I become a buffer between them and their student.
That was actually something that when we reached out to you for Jack, that was something I found that was going to be really important. I mean, it was also somebody who was going to help him stay on deadlines. I didn't have to be in the middle of everything, and I didn't have to be nagging him about things and saying, "Did you think
Mhm.
of this and did you think of that?" That I found you to be a buffer is a good word for it, but a knowledgeable buffer. You were more than a buffer. You really you helped guide us really well. So you
Thank
worked
you.
out.
And it was such a pleasure working with Jack. was my dream student. I'll always say that.
Thank you. Well, he's pretty terrific as far as I'm concerned, but really you knew him well, and you were able to guide him so perfectly for him ending up at Marist, which is like the perfect fit for him. So
That's so
it was
awesome.
wonderful for us.
I think it's a very stressful time for families, and kids are just super resistant. Obviously, teenagers, that's the nature of a teenager, is to push back on their parents. So the more you, as a parent, try to get them to do something, the less they're going to want to do it. And they don't push back as hard against me. I have to nag sometimes, but
Right.
I'm professional nag. That's what I do. I
Right.
keep on top of them. I make sure that they start to own the process, because
Right.
this is their big step, that it hasn't been prescribed for them. This is the first time that they get to have a lot of input on what comes next. And while that's exciting, it's also a little scary for a lot of them. So I try to make sure that we step through it slowly. We make sure we build up and keep the pace and not lose track, but we don't wait till the very last second and scramble. And that's how we don't end up with a good fit. And that's what my ultimate goal is to help the students, as you said, find the perfect school for them.
Right. Right. Well, I'm sure it works more than it doesn't. So that's a good thing. What are the specific services that you have? Is it kind of a menu approach?
I have two packages that I offer. The comprehensive package covers everything. So if, for example, through a comprehensive package, we would start with interviews with both the kids and the parents. I will develop a preliminary list of colleges, and I spend a lot of time with the students on how to do research. And of course, right now is a very weird time. Getting on campus can be really tricky. Some schools are doing that. Some schools are doing one-on-one tours. My son and I are going to visit Rowan in 2 weeks. And they are doing one family, and they're touring us individually, which is wonderful. Not all schools are opening their campuses. So how do we how do we get good information? So I work on that with the kids, and we focus on the three key components of fit, which is the academic, the social, and the ever-present financial piece. What are we looking for that student? And as I said, I really try to involve the student as much as I can in the entire decision-making process. And of course, we work with the parents too. Then we go on into the essay development. I help them brainstorm ideas for their Common App essay. And then we help them with editing. If there's supplementary essays, we deal with that too. And then we work on the applications themselves. I make sure, again, that they get done and that they get done well. I don't do them. I don't write essays, and I don't do applications. I work with the student to do them. This is their application to college. Right. And it's very important that they do the submitting. I also have another package, and then to finish that package, we end up at the end when we're down to decision-making time. I help them take a look at their financial aid offers, the different choices that they have, and help them figure it out. That can be some of the most stressful. The kids go crazy. They've got two schools they really like. What do I do? What do I do? So we sit down, and again, the parents are absolutely involved, but I find that adds a lot of stress to the kid, because they want to make their parents happy. True. So I try to make sure that I meet just with the student and we talk it through and help them feel good about the choices that they're going to make. So as I said, I have two packages. I have that comprehensive that covers everything. And then I have a short package, a smaller package that's just a list and essay help. A lot of families go with that too. If they feel like they can handle the research and the, check-in schools and all that other stuff that I do, they go with the short one. Oh, I also do interview prep too with the comprehensive.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, if they have, again, online interviews are a little different than getting to see somebody in person. So we talk about all the things they need to watch for when they're talking to someone like we're talking to each other right now.
Right.
So everything you can think of that has to do with the entire process.
Are kids these days, students these days, taking the SAT more or the ACT more? I remember when Jack a few years ago, several, I guess, years ago now, was the ACT seemed to be more popular. Is that still the case, or is it half and half? Or
yeah, I'm still seeing 50-50. Although this year, I'd say probably 90% of schools are test optional right now, which has thrown, yeah, it's thrown a whole wrench into the, I really feel bad for college admissions professionals right now because
Yeah.
it has removed one of the, not that I thought they were the best things in the world necessarily, 'cause it puts kids through a lot of stress, but they have to find other ways that they can assess an application now. So my general advice is if you can get a test, take it, and if it's
Right.
good, submit it. If you can't get it, don't worry about it.
What can you do, right?
Can you
I
do?
mean, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's hard. That's very hard for the admissions people, I would think, you know?
Mhm. Especially in the competitive programs like pre-med, engineering, nursing, where they have to know that the kids are at a certain level
Right.
before they get into that hardcore program. So yeah, I don't think they're going away anytime soon, but it's definitely changed the way some, schools are doing things, and stuff happened too. They didn't know what was going to happen with the amount of applications that would show up this year. And interestingly enough, a lot of schools' numbers went sky high because I think
Oh, without the
have to
test.
submit test scores. So they applied to schools where they didn't really have tests. Let's say they didn't have any at all,
Right.
held them back, but they didn't have any test scores, so they applied. I don't know, is it really changed that much about how many people, they can't admit any more students. It just makes the process slower. So I have students that are still waiting to get responses, and they said that the wait lists are going to be really big this year. That was what I had
What a
just.
mess. What a mess. I mean,
Yeah,
hopefully by the fall, I think all of this is will be in a different place which is nice for Jack's senior year, at least, maybe he'll be able to have a normal graduation and all of that. But,
I
oh,
hope so.
what a stressful time I feel for
It really is.
particularly the freshmen and the seniors of the last year or
Which
so.
is my daughter. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
right.
has yet to set foot on campus, but let's hope for fall that
That's
she will.
right.
And my son will be a senior next year, so hopefully he'll have a real senior year and
That's right. Yeah.
get to school. Yeah, we're optimistic, but what are you gonna do?
You have to be optimistic. I mean, what's the point of not being optimistic? It's not gonna, make things
Not
any
gonna
better
change
or worse.
anything.
Right. You
If
just
anything,
feel a
I
little
hope
bit better yourself.
right. And I do think kids are super resilient, and I do think that this has given some of them a real wake up call. Like, oh, not everything always goes the way I want it to.
Very true.
Try to, use that to say, okay, so yeah, it doesn't always. So what's plan B? What are we going to do with plan B? And that's true for college decisions too. I really ask kids not to fall in love with one school because you just never know. And there's so many great opportunities out there. There are over 3,000 colleges in this country. There is the right place for everybody.
Very true.
Not
Right.
just the ones that everybody's heard of either. There's a lot of really great places out
Yeah.
there.
There's a seat for every bet, as my grandmother would say.
Yes.
My old
Yes.
Sicilian grandmother. She was a little more, her language was a little different, but I cleaned it up just for purposes of this interview.
I can hear you. Yep.
So now I know you live in Long Valley. Tell me what you like about living here.
Well, although I didn't grow up in Long Valley, I've had family that has been here for over 50 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
coming out to Long Valley when I was a little kid, and I've always loved it out here. And my husband and I moved here about 18 years ago. Brought the kid, I had my daughter and then had my son. And I think the thing I like the most about it is it's absolutely beautiful here. It's just, there's walking trails, gorgeous parks. I don't think people who live outside of New Jersey realize how beautiful parts of Jersey really are. I did grow up in New Jersey, just not here. So
Right.
I'm a Jersey girl through and through, and I really, really love it here. It's been a wonderful place to raise my children.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, we're very fortunate. I was driving, I had to go somewhere earlier today, and I was driving down Norright, and I was looking at the Oreo cows up there. And I'm thinking, where else are you going to find, go see all of these different types of things, just in your daily routine of driving around,
Yeah.
it's an amazing, amazing place. So scenic, makes me happy.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Do you have some favorite restaurants or shopping spots or?
I don't know where to begin. Yes, absolutely.
Lucky, we have a lot.
We love Chesapeake Tavern for amazing seafood, and right next door is La Rienda, and it's excellent Mexican.
We had that last night. And,
Oh,
their takeout survives very well, which is great. Not every place the takeout is meant for takeout, but La Rienda knocks it out of the park every single time. So
we got it delivered the other night. Between the time I called and the time it showed up was about 20 minutes.
isn't that great?
I'll be calling next week.
It's a wonderful world.
It was awesome. Yes. One of my personal favorite shops is the Chocolate Shop, which is right down on 24 there. I live close to all of these places, which isn't always a good thing, but yeah, we love that their treats. And then I don't know how many people realize the Valley Shepherd Creamery is right down here in the valley as well. And talk about amazing cheese. I don't know. Have you ever been there?
I have been there. I actually remember when I first moved here, when I first moved to Long Valley from Chester, I remember taking Jack, he was like maybe 10 years old or something. And they were having an event that was the shearing of the sheep for like spring or summer, whatever it was. And I thought, oh, isn't this going to be fun? It was like the most horrible experience, like the way they, they put them on the
shaving,
the way they're shaving them. I was horrified. I'm thinking, oh my God, this is like, I thought it was going to just like be this sweet little, no, it was none of that. So I'm thinking, oh, I'll just stop and get some cheese and we got to get out of here, but it's, their cheese is great,
It's amazing. I have cute pictures of my kids from kindergarten, because my children went to Old Farmers school, and both of them in kindergarten did a field trip there, and I have them holding the little lambs. Maybe that's more like what you had in mind.
That is more what I had in mind. That is not what happened at all.
I never been to the shearing festival, but I have.
No, it wrecks your whole idea of like the sweet lambs with the, no, it was not what I expected, but it is a great place. They've been written up all over the place too. I think that people aren't as aware just driving by what goes on behind the scenes there. But it is.
They sell their cheese to all the best restaurants in New York.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're big time. And I do think that their business has probably been hurting this year since
like so many, which is, another reason that I think it's so important to support the local businesses, and I'm trying to do my part in that by, kind of getting some exposure out for everybody and trying to stimulate a little bit of local economy here. But it is so important to support our businesses. Or they're there for us. They're doing the best that they can, and it's important that we support them as well. So.
Absolutely, we do. We do a lot of that.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good.
Best we can. Yeah,
that helps everybody. I always say, if we all do well, we all do well. So.
That's absolutely right.
Kind of the way we have to look at it. But anyway, thank you so much, Alice. This has been fun. It's good to see you again, and know that you have a good success story, a good testimonial from me. As I've said, I'll talk to any parent and Jack will be happy to talk to any student and let them know, how much it was very worthwhile to use your services. But
I truly appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. So I want to thank everybody for watching today. Again, I'm Drew Wimmershoff with RE/MAX Heritage Properties in Chester. And be sure to check out this local community website. It is parkbench.com/long-valley. And if you have a business that you'd like to have featured, please reach out to me today. And I look forward to talking with you. Thank you again, Alice. And
thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the spring.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks very much. Take care now.
Bye now.